Hello, I'm Mark Teixeira, and it is an honor to welcome you to the 8th Annual Celebrating Hope Benefit. While I certainly wish we could be together in person this evening, virtual does allow us all to relax tonight in the comfort of our own homes and in our favorite rooms. I hope there are a lot of Yankee fans out there. I'm so grateful that you're joining me in support of the Alzheimer's Association as we celebrate hope for a world without Alzheimer's. The Alzheimer's Association is the leading voluntary health organization in Alzheimer's care, support, and research. While the association has always been available 24/7 through their helpline, this year they had to adjust to be able to provide their care, resources, and education programs 100% virtually. In doing so, they've ensured that there is somewhere to turn for the millions of families facing Alzheimer's or another dementia. My family is just one of many examples of those impacted by the disease that you'll hear from tonight. My wife Lee comes from a long line of incredible women, and when her grandmother went through dementia at the end of her life, it affected all of us. Of course, this evening would not be possible without this year's event chairs, Kate and Jim Clark, the Celebrating Hope Leadership Committee, and our community. Thank you for all of your commitment to this event and to our mission. We express our sincerest gratitude to those who have supported tonight's event. We would like to give a special thanks to our Beacon of Hope supporters, Kate and Jim Clark, along with our Leaders of Hope, Atria Senior Living, the Cabrera family, Granoff Architects, Kimberly and Kenny Habul, the Henkel family, Rick Kleeman, Courtney and Brent Montgomery, the Riddle family, the Stapleton Family Foundation, Mark and Lee Teixeira, that's me and my wife, along with 2 donors who wish to remain anonymous. Once again, thank you to those of you who have generously contributed to tonight's event. If you are still interested in supporting the Alzheimer's Association, there's something for everyone in this year's silent auction. Packages are available for bidding by clicking the Items button on the left-hand side of your screen. The auction will close at 9 p.m., so you'll have plenty of time to get those last-minute bids in at the conclusion of our program. Tonight you'll hear from individuals who are inspiring hope through action, research, connection, and legacy. Celebrating hope would not be possible without the hard work and dedication of the Leadership Committee. Together, they've contributed hundreds of hours of their time planning this event, which has raised over $1 million over the last 8 years. Let's hear how these volunteers turned pain into passion and anger into action through their commitment to the Alzheimer's Association.
My grandmother died of Alzheimer's, my mother died of Alzheimer's, my uncle died of Alzheimer's. Listening to my mom grow up, her biggest fear was that we would have to watch her as she watched her mom. And that came to fruition.
My father-in-law was 66 when he was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and it was particularly tough for our family because he had literally just retired.
My mom passed away from Alzheimer's a little over 10 years ago at only the age of 74. She was robbed of her life. She was robbed of the memories of an amazing life. She was robbed of the memories of the impact she had on the world. And that to me is just devastating.
I was in so much pain from the loss of my mother, but I was fortunately able to turn that pain into passion. And my passion is for the work that this association does to help those living with Alzheimer's, to help their caretakers, and to advance the research and the advocacy and awareness for this horrible disease.
An event like Celebrating Hope is incredibly important because there's so much at stake with finding a cure for this devastating disease.
I was mad, and it's like, all right, this is nonsense. Like we have to do something about this. We can do something about this. So let's take that anger, let's turn it into a passion, let's turn it into an action.
I was not able to help my mother in that moment. I was not able to help her, but I feel I can help my generation, and certainly I can save my children from watching me go through what my mother and my grandmother went through.
We need to be raising awareness, raising funds, so that we can have a world without Alzheimer's.
We all go on this journey in life. We all impact people. We do things. We live wonderful lives and have adventures. Imagine at the end of the day, not remembering any of it, not remembering the people that you loved, not remembering the people that loved you, not remembering the impact you had on the world. So I guess my goal is nobody dies not knowing their life story.
What an inspirational group of volunteers. Thank you for your dedication to this important mission. It is now my pleasure to introduce the Alzheimer's Association's Chief Executive Officer, joining us all the way from Chicago, Harry Johns.
Hello, I'm Harry Johns, the President and CEO of the Alzheimer's Association. It's a pleasure to be with you, though I'm sorry we can't be together live. I thank you so much for everything you've done for the Alzheimer's Association over time and in these challenging pandemic times. You have made it possible for us to continue across all of our work. And I thank you personally. My mom had Alzheimer's, my wife Cindy's mom had it, and her mom did too. So I thank you personally, as well as on behalf of the association, for making it possible for us to continue our efforts in diversity, equity, and inclusion, where we have many new partners on work that has reached more people and work that will continue beyond these pandemic times. Our concern and awareness work has continued. Recently issuing our most recent Facts and Figures report, continuing the discussion of Alzheimer's even when the media has needed to cover COVID-19, of course. We have been able to get them to continue our work to get the public to discuss Alzheimer's and other dementia, moving everything else we do. And you've made it possible for us to continue to advance in public policy, passing several pieces of legislation this year: our Elder Justice Act, the Improving Hope Act, the Younger Onset Act, in addition to increasing federal research for Alzheimer's and other dementia by $300 million annually, making the total now, each and every year, $3.1 billion of funding to advance the research effort. That makes such a difference in what will ultimately occur to change the course of this disease. So thank you for that as well. Care and support, risk reduction has advanced on multiple fronts. We've actually been doing new programs in this kind of format, reaching more people per program in care and support than previously. And we've continued to move with health systems to change the way that they provide care that will make a difference ultimately for millions of people. And in this past year alone, thanks to you through all of our efforts, our 24/365 helpline and our presence at alz.org, we've reached millions of people who needed our support in these times, thanks to you. And in our work on research, we have not stopped. Some research has been disrupted, and we've been able to help researchers who have been in our efforts at convening our Alzheimer's Association International Conference. Instead of reaching 6,500 people if we had been live, when we went virtual and made it free of charge, we had 33,000 people register, and we've since done other international research meetings in the same format, and we'll continue to do such hybrid meetings in our convening role. In our leading funding role, we have continued to fund at significant levels with more than $200 million active around the world. These funds being so important to seed and speed the initiation of research efforts and to do things to fill gaps that our colleagues at the federal level can't do with anything close to the speed that we can. We work closely with them, but we don't have the constraints that they do. So it takes all of that effort, your support in advancing research where we can be so nimble and identify such important things to do quickly that ultimately can be scaled by those federal dollars. And all of those research efforts now have us advancing in detection and in risk reduction. Research we have funded or actually delivered directly and continue to, and in treatments where we have made a difference in so many ways. For the first drug that has ever been before the FDA that could potentially change the underlying course of disease. Without the association, that drug simply wouldn't be in the position it's now in. And we have advocated and will continue to with the FDA for approval of aducanumab, and they have indicated that they will make a decision at the FDA by June. So, you have made such a difference in so many ways. Just one last little story. The facts and figures that we did release, we know made it to the White House because Joe Biden himself acknowledged what is the terrible potential cost of $1.1 trillion annually if we don't change the course of the disease before mid-century. But I believe we will, thanks to you being here right now, and to all of the things that you've done and continue to do to help the Alzheimer's Association lead this cause worldwide. I thank you for that, and I am confident we will indeed achieve our vision of a world without Alzheimer's and all other dementia. Thank you again. I look forward to seeing you hopefully sometime soon. Take care.
Thank you, Harry. As Harry mentioned, the Alzheimer's Association is the most impactful nonprofit funder of Alzheimer's research in the world, providing hope for prevention, treatment, and a cure. There is hope in the science that we are funding. Let's learn more about how event chairs Kate and Jim Clark are inspiring hope through their commitment to funding Alzheimer's research initiatives.
Truth be told, I had never heard of the Alzheimer's Association before this parlor event. They had a doctor come in who gave some of the science behind Alzheimer's, and they also had one of the executive directors of the association who told us of all the things they do, and we both came away extremely impressed. My dad left when I was in high school, so she really, and I was the oldest of 5 boys, we're all 1.5 years apart, and we lived in this 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom house in Staten Island, New York. Single mom, 5 boys, no cleaning lady, nothing, and she did everything for us, and it was obviously extremely difficult. My youngest brother, he died of a drug overdose when he was 20, I think it was. And that's when my mom started to take a little bit of a downward spiral. The decline continued slowly but surely, and she eventually got to the point, I remember it like it was yesterday. I went to visit her, and she looks at me and says, "Who are you?" And I said, "I'm Jimmy." "Why are you visiting me?" I said, "I'm your son." She said, "I don't have any children." And that's when it struck me. She's now crossed the edge. But the good thing about it is she stayed happy the entire time. Watching a loved one die this very, not painful, but this slow, deteriorating death is very, sad to see.
My aunt is my dad's twin sister. She is just the coolest ever. About 4 or 5 years ago, we started noticing a little bit of a decline. Just sort of forgetting where your keys are, that kind of thing. She's still just the sweetest person. And I'm so thankful for that. Every time I speak to her, she's just always smiling, and she's always tells me how nice it is to see her. So I'm so fortunate for that.
Good girl. Wow. Sally. I'm a big believer in staying active, mentally and physically, because it not only makes life more enjoyable, it will make your life longer.
Our hope for our kids is that they won't have to be going through something like this.
I am a believer that once enough time and money is spent on any disease, you can find a way to either cure it or control it. And nothing has shown us better than that, than this hideous coronavirus, this pandemic we've all been living with. I think that a cure or a significant remedy that reduces the effect of this disease will be found, and we are happy to play our small part in that effort.
Thank you, Kate and Jim. Not only are Kate and Jim incredible supporters of the Alzheimer's Association, but I am lucky to call them dear friends. It was through the connection of friends that my wife Leah and I first got involved with the Alzheimer's Association here in Connecticut. We are all seeking to connect with each other, especially after an isolating year. The Alzheimer's Association is always there so no one has to face this disease alone. Tonight's Courage and Hope Award recipient, Dick Helstein, created lifelong connections through an Alzheimer's Association support group when his wife Susan was diagnosed. Now on his own, Dick has moved to Florida, where he is starting a new chapter in life and in the Alzheimer's Association.
Hey guys, hey Dad. Good to see you all. Dad, what's Florida like right now?
Florida is just wonderful. It continues to be high 70s and sunny. And let me tell you, I am just so glad that I made this move. You know, it was tough to move and tough to leave everybody, but it's just like a great new chapter. It's so healing, it's so strong. I've got good friends, we've got wonderful weather, I've got the beach, and it's just been a gift. I've really felt wonderful being here. There is a great Alzheimer's Association group down here too. Okay. So I've been able to get associated with them and have set up the first men's support group. There have been no caregiver support groups for men. They've always been mixed. And this is a chance for men to really talk and to really be able to say what's on their heart.
I think my dad has always been a helper. He's always wanted to help and to support. And the fact that he's able to do that, not only for imagining what people are going through, but knowing what they're going through and being a true first line of defense for them is something that is a calling for him. The other thing too is that it's a way to honor my mom. They had the most, to me still to this day, the most magical relationship. She was extremely, extremely supportive, always there when we needed her, always there when we didn't need her, but she was just always there.
I feel like my mom was always just the epitome of mothering others. I think she just has always stressed so much the importance of family. She was 100% like the family historian. She put together an album for each child and each year of their life. It's a wealth, it's a treasure right now. It's probably one of the most important things I have. And ironically, when my mom began to lose her memory and even entered into the memory care center, I would pull photos from those very albums to create an album for her to remind her of who people were, kind of came back full circle. What was amazing about my parents was that they took their time to grieve, and then they decided that instead of focusing on the end of life piece and looking towards the end of it, they were going to start living life as abundantly as possible right now.
In the beginning of time, it was same old mom, and I loved what her and my dad did. They didn't skip a beat, and they went and took vacations together, and they did lessons together. My mom started taking up German again, and tap dance, and violin. About 3 years in, I would say, I started to really kind of notice a difference. Dignity, and that was a thing for her. She would dress to the nines and wear the nines, and dignity was a big piece for her. And when it started to feel strange to her, she didn't want to be a part of that.
The Alzheimer's Association was incredibly instrumental in providing support for them as they were moving through this disease. Just people to talk to, safe places where they didn't feel judged, where people could say, I totally get it, I've had those feelings too. They really became like a family for him. We watched and we felt like we were potentially going to lose both of them at different points. And so I think he recognizes that and really is fighting for the health and well-being of caregivers as well, and the opportunity to support them and to advocate for them as well as their loved ones. She hasn't been gone that long. I miss my mom terribly every single day. And yet he has been a great inspiration for me to now join others who might share that experience.
The battle that my mom went through was not in vain, and it did not stop with her passing. It's continuing on through the work that my dad is doing. You mean everything to us, Dad. We love you. We'll talk to you soon, and we'll all be together even sooner. All right. Love you guys.
Love you
Thank
guys.
Love
Talk to you
you.
later.
Talk soon.
Bye.
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 Good evening. I'm Ginny Handbridge, Executive Director for the Connecticut chapter of the Alzheimer's Association. We are so grateful to the Helstein family for sharing their hearts and their dad with us this evening. What a beautiful love story. Dick Helstein, you have made our mission your mission, and we are so inspired by your strength, your compassion, and all the love you continue to give. On behalf of the Alzheimer's Association and all the many people that you have helped throughout your own journey, I am very proud to present you with the Celebrating Hope 2021 Courage and Hope Award.
I want to thank the Alzheimer's Association for this incredible honor. And I also want to express my gratitude to the association for all they did in standing in the gap for my wife, myself, and my family, in supporting us, in guiding us, and helping us through on this difficult journey. I also want to thank Jim and Kate Clark for chairing this very special evening, this event. Thank you both for all you've done. There are moments in one's life that really define what that life is going to be like. And there are times during that where you suddenly realize that things are never going to be the same. That all of time is divided into before this time and after this time. And that's what it's like when a diagnosis of Alzheimer's comes to your family. It was a journey we had never asked for or planned for. At the same time, it was something where I felt it was truly an honor and a privilege to serve as Sue's caregiver. She had done such an incredible job in raising our family, in making our home just a beautiful place to be, of welcoming people to it. And so for me, to be able to do this, in essence for her, was a great privilege. But at the same time, it was so difficult, as it is with this disease, to watch the one you love daily disappearing an inch at a time. I really want to accept this very special award, not just for me, but for all the thousands of caregivers who are out there, who are laboring tirelessly, and in many cases anonymously, and truly are doing it with hope and courage in the same way. You will get through it, I promise. But that's why it is so important tonight to be contributing to finding that first survivor. The first survivor has got to be more than a word, a phrase, a hope. It's got to become a miraculous reality, and not just for us, but for our children and our grandchildren, so that they never have to go through the same degree of suffering and heartbreak of this affliction. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Dick. What a truly remarkable and humble person. We are so grateful to you, and we certainly share your hope for the first survivor of Alzheimer's. Our next guest is a versatile actress and director, bringing her talents to film, TV, and theater. When she's not in front of or behind the camera, Ashley Williams is a vibrant Alzheimer's Association celebrity champion, advocating for caregivers and families facing Alzheimer's disease. In 2016, Williams lost her mother, Linda, to Alzheimer's following a long journey with the disease. Inspired by her mother's career in fundraising, Ashley is committed to honoring her mom's legacy and raising awareness and funds to advance the fight to end Alzheimer's and other dementia.
Hi, everybody. Thank you all so much for being here tonight for the Celebrating Hope benefit. My name is Ashley Williams, and I am absolutely honored to be a part of this event. My mother, Linda, died of Alzheimer's disease in 2016 after a very long, brutal battle with the disease. And the Alzheimer's Association was incredible for us. They provided us with resources and support and love all through her journey with the disease and ours as caregivers. And I am so grateful and so relieved that I can be here tonight to support and advocate for them. Every year I do the Walk to End Alzheimer's with my friend Nikki Deloach, and we do really well on our fundraising page. And my sister does the Dance for Alzheimer's in Nashville, Tennessee for the Alzheimer's Association. And both of us really feel much more empowered using physical activity to raise funds for the disease. And it's been also really fun and a great way to connect with people around the disease. My mother was a fundraiser for many years. She worked in raising money for Parkinson's. She worked for cancer research, and also she worked in education, raising money for Sarah Lawrence College. That was her job, was fundraising. And I was brought to many a fundraising event as a young child, probably too young really to be at these big rocking parties. But you know, being here tonight makes me feel closer to her, because she really loved to gather people together in support of an important cause. And you know, I have to say, our story is just one of the many stories in this country in the battle against Alzheimer's disease, and we are closer than we've ever been before, and we're closer to finding a cure. But not only that, the Alzheimer's Association works very hard to put resources into the lives of caregivers to provide support, and we have more education than ever before so that we can support our caregivers. If we don't support them, then they won't be able to support the people living with the disease. So I am so happy to be here tonight with all of you, and grateful for all that the Alzheimer's Association does. And I know that if we work very hard together, we will find a cure. And I am so grateful for your participation in that tonight. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Ashley, for sharing your story. I can feel your passion and motivation for joining the Alzheimer's Association as an advocate and celebrity champion. Tonight, we've heard the stories of many individuals who inspire hope for a world without Alzheimer's and other dementia throughout their unique support of the Alzheimer's Association. There is still time to make a direct impact on the 80,000 individuals living with Alzheimer's in Connecticut, their families, and their caregivers. You heard Kate and Jim Clark share why supporting the Alzheimer's Association is so important to them. Tonight, thanks to the generosity of the Clark family, every donation made right now and in the days to come will be matched dollar for dollar up to $25,000. That means we need each of you watching to make a gift tonight so we can raise an additional $50,000 for this mission. You can make a gift by clicking the donate button on the event website or following the text to give instructions below. Every gift you make has a direct impact on the life of an individual who needs somewhere to turn. Every gift you make will bring us closer to a cure. And thanks to Kate and Jim, every gift you make will have twice the impact. Thank you to those of you who have already contributed to tonight's event, whose names you see below. We are so grateful for your ongoing generosity. Together, we will end Alzheimer's. On behalf of everyone at the Alzheimer's Association, thanks again for being here, and have a great night.